It's your boy, the Incredible Man, and yes, I'm back at it again, and I just watched New Amsterdam Season 2, Episode 3, and this is my discussion/review, man. Yes, it was another banging episode, man. I enjoyed every moment of it yet again, I guess because I just really love this show, man. There was so much going on, and there was a lot of underlying facts as well. So let's just dive right in and get to discussing it and reviewing it and having a wonderful time, man. So this week started a new week, and Max was picking an assistant. And I'm just gonna be real and come straight off and right off the bat, man. I love Todd. Todd was absolutely wonderful, man. Todd was the coolest thing about this episode, man. And I'm hoping that with him being on the board, he still gets to be Max's assistant, because I just enjoyed him just being there the whole time. No, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that's not really making a lot of sense, is it? Did you really want to say that about this hospital this time? So I love every time he chimed in or said something that Max was talking about, and Todd just came in like, no, yes, no. He was just so stoic, and I loved everything about him, man. Todd was the coolest part about this episode. But let's get into the episode and talk about some of the stuff that happened, like, that was a little bit more sad and had a little more going to it. And one thing is that we had Iggy's kids in his therapy session class, and they all of a sudden all got sick because of one girl that was sick. They all saw her get sick, and she was going through some different emotions about feeling alone and how no one really cared how she felt. And I don't have any kind of mental problems, or I don't have anyone in my family that I know of that had any kind of mental problems, but having her go through that, I agree with the other girl, so Shona, I think that's her name. You're not the only one that has problems. Everybody has problems. But I can understand where she was coming from. She kind of felt alone. And when you feel alone like that, it kind of weighs on you a little different than everything else. But all of a sudden, she started getting sick. But she had a legit medical problem. But everyone else, it was like a mass hysteria. She got sick, and they feared that they were sick, and they all started throwing up and everything. But I like the way Iggy resolved it with everybody else. Here, let me give him a placebo. It was a Mike and Ike, and they all of a sudden got better. So I love that, man. And that wrapped that up nice. But then we also came back and found out that the girl, I think her name was Emily, she actually had a real medical problem, which was she had a tumor inside her brain. But she felt like the other kids hated her because, like, she showed sickness and they all of a sudden got sick. But what was a nice transparent thing was at the end, they pulled back the curtains and all of the kids were there with signs and was like, "Get better, Emily. We love you, Emily." And I love that, man. That's what I love about New Amsterdam. It makes you feel good. It makes you just want to be a good person. And that's just great television, man. This episode was crazy though. Then we have Dr. Kapoor. I was on his son's side the whole first season. I was like, well, I get why his dad is like that, and that's just because the way he was raised. And I was kind of on his son's side the whole first season until, maybe like a couple episodes in, after I found out about him and why the relationship kind of got strained like that, because Dr. Kapoor's wife is what really held their relationship together. But this episode, dude showed his true colors, and I was like, now I understand why his father treated him the way that he did. Dude, he got Ella pregnant, and she's a wonderful character. He gets her pregnant, comes and tells his dad, yeah, I'm going on tour with my band, and yeah, we're doing good, we're doing great things. Yeah, we're gonna go out on tour, we're gonna be going for some months. And tells his dad to take care of Ella. Well, why do you want me to take care of Ella? Because he got her pregnant and now he's running away and he doesn't even care. Dude, that's so crazy. Now I understand why Dr. Kapoor treated him the way that he did, man. But Dr. Kapoor is the man. He stood up and he told Ella that, he ran away, but I'm there if you need me. Man, Dr. Kapoor is the boss, man. Then we have Sharpe and Bloom, and it starts off with them in the bathroom. Checking Bloom's blood because we don't want to get her addicted to anything again. And I love that they're back on friendly terms. I enjoy them being friends rather than enemies and not talking to each other. I love the fact that Bloom told her that she slept with her physical therapist doctor. So I was like, okay, I see you, Bloom. Like, you got your freak on. And she was like, I wish I wouldn't have wore sexy underwear. And then even at the end of this episode, she went and she went to sleep with him again. So I see Bloom. She's kind of working through her stress and her pain. But this episode kind of touched on her a little bit as well, because Max needed board members to get on the board to vote in his favor, and he wanted her mother, and she was like, nah, you do not want my mother. She ain't nothing but an alcoholic, and she wouldn't even vote our way half the time. She'd vote for somebody that's whoever's pouring the alcohol. So that went out the window. Then we also have Dr. Reynolds, and he's kind of advocating for his patient because she had surgery, and then she went home and she fell, and she was on the floor for 14 hours, dude. And the lady said she was so embarrassed. That is so sad, man. That is sad. That is really sad. But they were trying to think of a solution to find a way, and Max came up with an idea for nurses, but like when he brought it to the board, they shut that down quick. And I agree with them. That's a lot of money, Max, to send nurses out to other people. But then my boy Todd came up with a wonderful idea. Todd came up with, why not get her dog, get a dog walker to come by twice a day to walk the dog and check on her as well while they're there. That's smart, and you can get a dog walker for $20. Todd, see, that's why I love Todd, man. I need more Todd in these episodes. Todd made it wonderful. And then we also have Reynolds dealing with this whole concept with Evie, because she's still away on business and she's going to stay there another 2 weeks, and he just really misses her. But he kind of showed his aggression when she called him to tell him that she was going to be gone for 2 weeks. But I mean, I get where he's coming from because he misses her, but you have to understand where she's coming from because she's working, and that's her career, and she cares about her career the same way you care about your career. But he manned up, got on the plane, flew to, I want to say she was in Chicago, I think, flew to Chicago, and he went to see her, man, and I love that. I love their relationship. And I'm going to be real, I always wish that him and Bloom kind of worked it out, but that's okay if they're not. I like Evie, and I like him and Evie together, so it's totally fine with that. Then we also have Bloom and Sharpe working on a case together with this patient that had a transplanted metal hip, and the hip and the joint part and the ball was rubbing together, and it poisoned his bloodstream with the cobalt. And dude, blood, like this stuff, it came out black and gooey. It was so nasty. But it also, we got to see the side of Sharpe that Max created, because when we were first introduced to Sharpe last season, she was Dr. Helen, like the TV personality, the one that was going on all the talk shows and doing all the interviews. But last season, Max made her and transitioned her and helped her become a doctor again, and that's what she was this episode, to help her patient. She even threatened the company and everything, and then she went on news and was like, well, on TV, and was like, yeah, it's not the company. I'm not highlighting one individual company, because, that could have ruined her career. And good thing Max saved her with the thing. And now I don't know if it was a lie or it was the truth, because I didn't see Max talk to anyone, but I'm hoping it's the truth. I mean, I feel like it's the truth. And she was like, well, we need to talk and get in talks with the FDA to fix this problem, because it's a real problem. But dude, the whole thing about this whole episode that I was so focused on was when Helen and Max were talking. I thought they were going to kiss. I was hoping they were going to kiss, because it felt like it was going that way, because like they kind of aired out their emotions and their whole feelings. They kind of laid it all out. But at the same time, I agree with Helen, and I kind of agree with Max, because Helen was like, well, you only use your feelings when you're trying to get something from me, and you know how I feel about you, so you only use your feelings when it's convenient for you. And that's kind of true, but I understand where Max coming from as well, because Max was like, well, I don't want you to feel what I feel, because I feel so horrible that George is gone, and possibly the way that he feels about Sharpe, even though, he was with Georgia last season and everything, so he doesn't want her to feel that kind of guilt that he's feeling. So I just want them to kiss already, man. I want them together so bad. I just can't wait for them to be together. And then I think that's all that happened this episode, man. It was a nice episode. And then Todd got voted on the board. And at the end, when they were trying to make a decision about giving Todd a salary, Max was like, I vote that he gets a salary. And then no one else raised their hand, and then Todd was like, and that's the 2 votes that you needed, man. So I enjoyed this whole episode, man. This is your boy Dick Incredible. Don't forget to smash that like button until you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them. And subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. Peace out.